Hello friends, my name is Matthew John Armstrong and I wanted to just make a quick video leaving you a message actually about today. Today is Easter, and you know what? This day is very important to me. You know why? Because it's a reminder of why I am here, why I am doing the things I do, why I am passionate about communicating this crazy little thing called love. Because if it wasn't for the love of God, I wouldn't be here, friends. That's just the truth. And many of you don't know yet why that's the case and why that's the truth for me. But let me tell you, it is literally true, and it is the reason why I'm excited to share with you a few words from this morning as I sat outside on the little balcony and said, well, we'll have a listen.
Hello friends, so I just wanted to document briefly what it means to me that I just got done with the Easter service at Chipson Hospital, where Tommy, the guy who organized it all, great job Tommy, it was phenomenal. He'd asked me to be able to share and speak, and I did. I shared a little bit of my story, and we talked about the meaning of the resurrection and why it's a living hope and what it means to actually access that. And I just wanted to say briefly, wanted to share with you that the truth of the resurrection is something that you can experience. And you have to understand there are some truths in life that are truer than literal. There are some truths that are more true than literal. There's a deeper reality that you're a part of. In fact, you are so you're so much a part of this other deeper reality that you can't even see it unless you're sensitive to, or you've had this sort of spiritual awakening in your life. You can go through your entire life with this sort of idea that you are this objective, rational person that's walking through life, making your choices and decisions, not ever realizing that the entire substance of who you are and the quality of your life is based upon this other reality that is about relationship. It's about what it means to be happy, what it means to experience joy, loss, love. Those things that aren't physical. In fact, it's the unseen world that you live in that is actually dictating the course of the seen. And yet we are so convinced that it's the other way around. I just want to say, being here in Tijuana, healing cancer, sometimes it's very difficult. Sometimes I deal with pain. For the first time in my life, I've seen death in front of me. Met friends that didn't make it. Struggle with knowing what's going to happen, even with myself. Pains come and go in my head and my throat. I've obviously been on the upward swing and continue to move forward, but so much of that is a choice that I've made that you don't see. But what I think about is, no matter what happens, if I wasn't here, if I don't make it, when I don't make it anymore, because there is a time I'm going to die, I will go knowing that there is a love. There is a love that is real, that is so wanting to connect with you at the deepest level. And that in that love of God, you're home. And for the first time in my life, when I experienced that love, I realized who I really was. It was like, something something really valuable that you lose, that you're looking for and you can't find it, and then one day you stumble across it. Only that thing that I was looking for was myself. And it turns out by losing yourself, surrendering to the call of Christ, was the ultimate way to discover who I really was. And so, friends, it's true. You have to lose your life in order to find it. And the resurrection of Jesus this Sunday, as I think about it, is the greatest example that the life that's available to you on the other side of the death of your pride, of your ego, of your dreams, of your goals, of your failures, of the broken promises, of all the things that let you down, all the choices you've made that let others down. When you allow those things to die and surrender your pride to this crazy little thing called love and open yourself to actually experiencing firsthand what it means that God so loved the world. When you experience that, you can't help it. You can't help it. You have to let somebody know. Because you're like, if the world knew, we would no longer have to run crazy. We'd no longer run away from the good or want to hide from God. It's a lot of what we're doing. And pretending that we can be God, that we can figure it out, that just give us enough time with enough apps and enough technology that we'll be able to live forever. And that we'll solve our issues. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And God, thankfully, is not like us who'd say, a bunch of arrogant pricks. Instead, it beckons us gently with love and allows the circumstances of our life to be the catalyst that we might be open to this incredible reality that is not in thought or word or even action, but in relationship. All of life is about connection and relationship. All of reality is about connection and relationship, even down to the connection between atomic particles and their relationships to each other. And here is the most important relationship you could ever invest in. And when you actually open yourself up to that, not to have it all figured out in your mind, checking off some list of boxes that says you're saved or that you believe these dogmas and that makes you right with God and that you get to go to heaven. That's silly. You know it and I know it. What it's really about is that Jesus is the icon, the logo of God, the logos. And what that brand represents, funny to think of it that way, is that God desires most to connect with you, to have a real connection with you, and that the intelligence, the very source from which life flows, the energetic underpinning of everything is actually intentionally interested in having a connection with you. And the forgiveness that we receive through the message of the cross of Jesus isn't some dogmatic item of faith that you're supposed to check off your list in order to be saved. It's a gift to free you from not only the bondage of your past failures and self-destructive patterns that you yourself know has caused you to live less the life you're called to, but not only to free you from your own regrets and failures, but to free you from the bondage of religion itself. The bondage of needing to measure up, not being good enough. And there's so many religious folks who will be in church today at Easter, who are Pharisees, who are the kind of folks that are living under the pressure and the weight of a religion that is killing them while worshiping the God who says, "It is finished." You don't have to go to the temple. You don't need a mediator of a human priest. You don't have to do the physical sacrifices. You no longer have to measure up according to some outward standard of rules or regulations that you think are good for your life to protect you from the bad and the evil, but actually are oppressing you and holding you back and keeping you down. No, all that's finished. What we have now is an invitation to experience a living relationship. The dynamic of the Spirit frees us from the need to control or to feel like we have to put others into a box that says, "You're good, you're bad." That's my thought for this Easter. The love is so real and it's so good. And it's not like any other human love. And you've experienced amazing human love. Go to a rock concert and sing about love, and everyone's crying out, and you'll have like an emotional connection with God even without even knowing it. And even that is nothing compared to the power of that transforming love to heal you, make you whole, and to discover the truth about who you really are and why your responsibility in this world matters. You matter more than you realize. You matter more than you realize. And you are so valuable. You are so valuable. You are so valued by the greatest authority who could ever speak of value. The very source of life itself says, "I am so wanting to connect with you. I'd be willing to demonstrate it." That's what Jesus is. He is the expressed image of who God is. He's the icon, the logos, the logo. And let me tell you, friends, turns out, for those of us who don't get down with religion, when I actually opened up the New Testament and read what Jesus was about, I was like, I can't believe this guy agrees with me. And yet I don't believe. What is this? What is this really about? Let it turn you inside out. And in the end, you'll have to shout, because I have tasted and seen the Lord is good. And all your pride and intellectual, have to, in your intellect and your rationality and your reasoning, all the reasons why you would not accept it, that's okay. God understands that too. And it's the most humble, creative power I'm just so admire God's humility. But one day, whether you like it or not, your intellect and your rationality won't matter anymore. And the sooner you get to the end of that, the better, because it's good. Peace. Have a good one.
Once again, my name is Matthew John Armstrong. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me. Be sure to hit thumbs up, like this video, and subscribe to my channel. This is a little different content than normal, but I hope you got something out of it. And remember, just be open. Just be open. You'd be surprised what can happen when you truly come from that place of openness in your heart and your mind, and you say, you know what? I'm going to be open to whatever is true and good for me, regardless of where it takes me. That's the sort of openness you need. Peace.